Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Right, quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Chandra, presented by the Dahl Group. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Chandra.
Welcome, everyone, to Sedona's Backstage Pass, where you'll hear the behind-the-scenes stories that you never get unless you tune in to this show. I'm Chandra. I'm your host, and thanks for tuning in. And remember, you can always check it out again on Mellow Mountain Radio and also their website, Apple Podcasts. You can catch it there, too. I want to thank my sponsors right up front: Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering, Quicker Cleaner Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, and my new presenting sponsor, the Dahl Group. And again, tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m., and if you can't, check it out on Apple Podcasts. Well, not every month includes a fifth Saturday. However, on the special months that do, like this month of May, I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Chef Lisa Dahl of the Dahl Restaurant Group that I just talked about here. They are my esteemed presenting sponsor, and I'm thrilled to have Lisa with me. Chef Lisa Dahl is incredible. I'm sure she'll have you feeling very hungry after this particular interview today. And also, I have one of my dear friends, Suzie Schomaker. Anybody who knows Suzie in Sedona and the Verde Valley adores this woman. She is a fabulous singer, songwriter, musician, and an outstanding human being. And she's with us today as well. So let's move on to some events that are happening. First, I want to mention that I did attend the annual Memorial Day celebration this past Monday on Memorial Day at Posse Grounds Park at the pavilion there. And I just want to give a big thank you to the president of Safeco, Jack Ross, and all the volunteers that participated, all the speakers. It was extremely touching and so worth it to go. If you didn't get a chance to go this year, make sure you go next year on Memorial Day. And we have a Sedona Poetry Slam coming up. This one is called the Grand Slam. It's the Sedona Poetry Slam returning on Saturday, May 31st for their final slam performance as poets give their high-energy competitive spoken word pieces to everybody who attends. It's going to be great. Starts at 7:30 p.m. this Saturday night. That's tonight, May 31st, at the Mary D. Fisher Theater, which, of course, is part of the Sedona Film Festival. And if you go to sedonafilmfestival.com, you can purchase a ticket there. Now, for those of you who don't know, a poetry slam is like a series of high-energy 3-minute, one-person plays. That's how it comes off. They're outstanding. It's something to see, something to witness and enjoy and experience. And it's judged by the audience. All right? So get in there. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Also, Tyler Carson, better known as Fiddler on the Rock here in Sedona and the Verde Valley, this weekend, tonight, May 31st, and next week coming up, Thursday, June 5th, both of his concerts are at Posse Grounds Park. For more tickets and information, visit fiddlerontherock.com. Now, let's just get ahead a little bit to June 6th, which is also that Friday night. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Sedona Arts Center is what they call their first Friday. I will be there playing some tunes, and the Sedona Arts Center Ceramics Department will have demos and ceramics for sale. And this exhibition is called The Big Gay Art Show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be playing a lot of fun music. You can dance, enjoy food, the regional art, get some drinks. It'll be a lot of fun. So it's held in the upper parking lot at the Sedona Arts Center. You can celebrate Sedona in its monthly celebration every Friday, I should say this coming Friday, on First Friday, Sedona Arts Center. I'll see you there. So I'd like to welcome my very first guest. I mentioned her before. She is part of the Dahl Group. They are my presenting sponsor. I am so thrilled to have her back for this fifth Saturday in May. This is Chef Lisa Dahl from the Dahl Restaurant Group. I feel so blessed to have Lisa here and to have her as my presenting sponsor because this woman has such heart. She's so community. Community means everything to me. Tom and I feel this way together. Tom's my husband, if you don't know. And I am thrilled to have you here, Lisa. Chef Lisa Dahl in the studio today, and we have so much to talk about.
We really do.
I am thrilled to have you here.
And
Thank you for being
honored
here.
because I'll never forget the first time that I ever met you and Tom, and you were performing for some kind of an event. It's always been about community for you, and I think that's where our hearts are linked, and that is a good deal of what we have in common. You helped me open Mariposa. You were our MC.
Yes, that's right.
I'll never forget that.
Oh.
And I'm honored to be on this show.
Well, thank you. I'm just thrilled. I can't be more grateful and happy and appreciative. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. And Lisa's going to be coming back. Of course, you know this. My sponsors get an interview once a month with Lisa. We're going to hear more from her because we always have those extra Saturdays that pop up. But right now, I want to talk about what you're up to in May from the 18th to the 20th, actually. We've already gone, well, we're almost going to be going through all of this, but I want you to tell me what it is that you have planned.
Well, I'm excited. I look forward to this show every year. It's nearly at a Memorial Day weekend. This year, it starts, I think, on the 17th, probably. I can't leave on the 17th, but I'm going to the National Restaurant Association show. They call it, ironically, the NRA show, which always gives me a cringe.
Whoa.
Because it could not be more the opposite of going to a National Rifle show. Never will I do that ever in my life. But National Restaurant Show is right up my alley. And it's something that I feel very privileged that we can go to because it's like an expose of everything that you would encounter in your needs of being a restaurateur. Not every chef gets to go to this. This is the largest restaurant show, I believe, in the world. It's at McCormick Place in Chicago. I love that it's not on Memorial Day weekend this time because it would be hard for me to go because I put my energy into visiting the guests that are there. So we don't leave until Sunday, which is the 18th. We start going to our appointments and going to our different booths that are there from all walks of restaurant life. I mean, you're going to see beautiful new things emerging in the flatware market, which is a very big part of my excitement because I love to get ideas from looking at the plates, looking at the different things that are coming out in serviceware to build the creative ideas that are about the presentation. So not only do you see those wares, you also see the industrial things like the equipment. If you're looking for new equipment or you're opening a restaurant or you need certain things, this is a good way to see everything that's out there in the industry. Now, when we go, many times on the second day, Scott and I will kind of split up. And because this is a huge show, it is the largest in the country at least. And so you're talking all of McCormick Place. Many people are from Chicago and they know this show. As a matter of fact, I encounter people from Chicago in the restaurants every day leading up to this that are actually saying, oh, are you going to the restaurant show? So it's a pride of Chicago because they have some of the greatest restaurants in the country, but yet imagine how busy the restaurants are when you're going for their 1 week show a year.
Right.
So I can't stay the whole time, but what I love about going to shows is I cherry pick going after the first day because that's too busy. So I get more individual attention when I go and visit vendors. For instance, I have been made the ambassador, the chef ambassador of Chef's Warehouse for Arizona. It's very recent news.
That is
and this
big
just
news.
came out, their magazine. They celebrated their 40th year of being Chef's Warehouse, which is one of the most unique because it's a chef-driven distributor. And they have never had an Arizona ambassador. This magazine that came out just blew me away because I am a self-taught chef. I'm not a chef that graduated and went to culinary. This became the second phase of my career. And
I have to talk to you about this.
Yes.
I was thinking about this just yesterday because I knew we were going to be doing the show. And I was thinking, how did this happen? You know, like you came here, you didn't come to Sedona to start a restaurant.
No.
And yet now you have 6 restaurants, an entire group. And I'm wondering, like, was cooking always a very big passion for you? Who taught you this? Where did you get the bug? I know where I got the bug for theater.
Yes.
I got it from my family.
Yes.
My dad and mom, you know, being in the wings of theater, watching them on stage and stuff, and the musicians coming in and all that, and the house and everything. But my question is, how did this start?
Well, I love to cook. I was very fortunate. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I was very fortunate to not grow up with bland food. My grandmother on my mother's side was a phenomenal cook. Of course, back in those days, no one considered themselves to be a chef. But they had great flavored food and natural. So I didn't grow up with boxed macaroni and cheese. Everything was really made by scratch. My grandmother would stay at home, so she would always have the big Sunday meals and things like that. But she was very much, I call it the heartland. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, where foods were natural. So I didn't get into cheating type of recipes. So my mother inherited very good taste buds from my grandmother, and she was a very good cook, very good, very flavorful and using the best of ingredients. But my mother was a working woman. As a matter of fact, she was an entrepreneur before there were really female entrepreneurs.
Wow.
And this is a big part of my life because I call my mother the ultimate fashionista. I just did something for Mother's Day I said that. But she was uniquely her own in her expression, which was her wonderful clothing stores and her taste in fashion and clothing. But it was like she was a set designer, and she merchandised like no other back in that day. She really was a trendsetter, but she was a good cook, but she couldn't stay at home and cook all the time. She was working. I mean, sometimes we didn't even eat until much later. Maybe that's why I am such a late diner. I mean, I'm relentless. I eat at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully I could do that for many years, but that's my thing. But Mom and Dad would come home late, but we would always have great meals. So I kind of call them foodies before we use that expression, which is so common now.
Yes.
So I was fortunate to have a good palate, but not fussy, just high quality. Never preservatives, never things that really just came out of a can. And that set me to loving to create myself. When I was 16, I thought the world should become a vegetarian. So I started to cook things on my own that were more plant-based, as we call it now. But when I was very young, a teenager, I actually had my own little kind of like a little vegetarian gourmet deli in our most popular of health food stores in Broad Ripple in Indianapolis.
Wow.
So I would make these wonderful avocado sandwiches and all kinds of veggie things. And I had my little boutique. It was like a little kiosk. And every day the food would sell out. And I was like, whoa, I love this. But yet I was still in the fashion business by way of my upbringing. And as I evolved, moved to the Bay Area of San Francisco, lived in Marin County where everything was like luscious and natural. And we had farmers markets. Even going back, way back in those days, I would always want to prepare wonderful meals at home when I wasn't on the road for my other part of my business. So my son Justin and I was the hippie. He would bring all of the friends over. We would cook and cook and cook.
And so
I
he
was kind
cooking.
of a singer.
He was cooking too?
He was a very good cook, but he was particular to just certain things he loved.
Okay. And what
Like
did
every
he
kid.
love?
Oh, he loved, like every kid, of course, they all love bagels, but that's not cooking something, but he was a bagel master. But as he was young, very young, but he was actually in love with like chicken dishes. It was his favorite things. Some people might recognize when they go into one of our restaurants, there's always a Justino item on the menu.
Ah, that's where that comes from.
The pollo Justino, the sandwich the pizza Justino named after Justin. They weren't all chicken dishes that I've named, but they're the specialties that I think that Justin would be proud to have his name on.
Yeah, so you answered the question I was going to ask you, like, when did you actually start cooking? Did somebody get you in the kitchen? Was that your grandmother?
No, they didn't get me in the kitchen. And I have to be honest. I mean, my mother used to always say, I didn't teach you anything. Well, they really didn't do that. It's sad to say that no,
but it's okay.
They didn't, but they exposed me to how protective they were and how much energy they put into the preparations.
Right.
And my mother had 4 children in the span of 5 years.
Wow.
And so
that's a lot of work.
That was a lot of work.
Goodness.
And she worked. And I kid you not, she literally went into labor with my brother Jay and came back several days later and was already back working on the floor. So evidently the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's for sure. You know what? You and I have something in common.
What?
My mom was the first female talent agent in San Diego.
Wow.
After my parents divorced, we moved to San Diego, my sister and I watched her. You know, she was out.
Yes.
She wasn't cooking much, I will tell you that. I was left to cook, which was not the greatest thing in the world, but I do love to cook. Not like you. I mean, you're phenomenal. But here's the thing. She was a go-getter, and she never stopped. And you know, both of us have that, right?
Yes.
And that whole feeling about get out there and show up.
Well, how much that must have influenced us both
Absolutely.
to be in the positions that we are in.
Yes.
But our mother's influences was everything.
Huge. And which reminds me, we talk about the fear of missing out.
Yes.
And I think we both have that, actually, that fear of missing out. But it also means something. There's an acronym, FOMO.
Yes.
I don't mean to segue. I have to find this out. This is what it means to you. But when did you first come across that phrase or that term, FOMO?
Well, it's funny because I was actually diagnosed with FOMO. I wasn't aware of this as a disease until about, I'm going to say 4 years ago.
And this is not the disease of fear of missing out.
Oh, yes.
Although that in itself could be a
is.
disease, I suppose. But
so FOMO now
yes.
is more commonly known as a FOMO, fear of missing out. But when the person that told me I had it, I was like, they go, you know you have a disease, don't you? And I was like, no. What do you know? And they said, well, you have FOMO. And I'm like, what is it? And I was scared.
Yeah.
That they knew something about me that I didn't know yet. And when they told me, I busted out because that shoe fit like you cannot imagine.
Right.
Because I had FOMO all of my life. And I didn't realize it, but I never wanted to miss out on things going on. So how much better of a career could I have chosen as a restaurateur when you're meeting new people every day, every evening? It's like a FOMO party.
You got me.
And I wear it well.
You got me because I'll tell you what, I thought it was a real disease. Now I really understand. Well, FOMO, I get it.
Well,
Fear
it
of
can get
missing
you
out.
in trouble, Chandra.
It can.
You know, like if somebody
yeah.
says, "Oh, so and so is coming to the restaurant," or what restaurant? I've got to see them. What am I going to wear? I mean, it's the whole thing. But see, when I was a kid, I had fear of missing out, and my parents used to try to contain us, but yet me and my brother Jay would sneak out of our windows in the middle of the night.
You did,
believe this
how many
or
of you-
not?
Okay, how many of you listening would imagine that our Lisa Dahl Our chef, Lisa Dahl, was escaping out of a window from her bedroom without her parents knowing, of course. So much fun. I never did it. Can I stick with you?
Yes.
I want on your train.
I'm still like a big kid, and you know that, and you are too.
I am.
But the funny thing is, I got busted because my parents' best friends reported us, and they were out coming back from a party at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they said to my parents, "We don't know if we imagined this, but we think we saw Jay and Lisa walking down the highway at 5 in the morning. How could that be?" And we were busted.
No,
because
what did your
we had a
parents do?
gig.
Was this bad?
I don't know if we got grounded for this, but it turns out that we were escaping almost every night, leaving in the middle of the night and going and like partying.
I was going to say, where did you go? Where did you go?
We went to other friends' houses when their parents were asleep.
Oh,
we
my
would
gosh.
sneak in and kind of have fun, probably a little
Quietly.
bit. Yes, quietly. And then we would tuck back like little angels, tucked in bed the next morning, unbeknownst to my parents, until we were busted.
I love this story. You are such, I would never know that. I would never know this. Now, the fashionista thing, I believe it because I am looking at you. You can't see her. You cannot see Chef Lisa right now, but you are wearing a beautiful outfit. It is, it's a gorgeous cream-colored, I'm going to explain it, okay? I'll do it like this. Wearing a cream-colored suit jacket, and underneath is like a black camisole with lots of diamonds, I must say.
Ooh.
Really gorgeous. I wore heels for you. Now, you know what? You can't see us, but we have to dress it, right? It's how we feel. It's like restaurants. When you make a meal or how do I say this? I'm going to rephrase it. When you walk in to a Chef Lisa Dahl restaurant, it is not just the food that's phenomenal. It is the atmosphere. It's the flatware. It's everything. It's the way you're greeted. It's the way the servers are. It is a full-blown out experience. And that is what you have to be in that mode, right? It's part of the whole thing. You are a detail person. And I'm not surprised you look the way you do. Every time I see you, I go, oh my gosh, there she is. She's gorgeous.
Oh, you little sweetheart. Now, I take that. I'm taking a compliment, but it's not easy for me. But I must tell you, there is a tie-in that is important to me to mention. You know, we started our first restaurant here 29 and a half years ago. Dahl and DeLuca will be 30 in the winter.
Beautiful.
That being said, when I came here, I came from Marin County, where everybody was just jeans, cutoffs, bohemian, and never dressing up. I came straight from the fashion business, which is a whole segment unto itself, but I'd been a fashion rep in the Bay Area. And I came here, we did not start a restaurant right off the bat, but when we were fortunate to get the first location and open the restaurant, I wanted it to feel like it's a celebration when you go out to dinner. I didn't want it to just be, go any old way. I had wardrobe items because I had been in that business. You can't just discard, nor would I ever. So I started dressing up at night. In the daytime, I'm wearing a chef coat. And, like pinching myself that I'm becoming a chef. There's a whole segment on that as well, because being a chef is much more than where you go to school and these things. So I would love to be able to talk about that in another another time.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to give you this little idea, this visualization that now I'm stirring the pot, so to speak. I'm making a soup or sauce, new adventure, starting to build a little clientele base at that time. I'm answering phones to take reservations. I look like I am a wreck. I'm covered in sauce. I'm a mess. But at night, I would go home. I would change, put on something lovely, because you must, as a hostess now I am, attract people to feel like they can use the restaurant and the experience as a celebration, an anniversary. Maybe they are celebrating getting engaged. birthdays, all those things, an excuse to dress up in a town that dressed down.
Right.
And when it came to Sedona, it was an extension of being in Marin County. Nobody was dressing up. But when you feel festive and you want to have that excuse to wear those earrings, to put on those heels, to do that, to celebrate something, a love affair with your significant other, your husband, whatnot, that started to catch on.
Well,
and that is a lot to the story of how we've evolved back many years ago. I'll never forget this. A woman came up to me at D&D. I didn't have any other restaurant. And she said, "Thank you for allowing us to be glamorous, for bringing this to this town." And that,
that's
it
awesome.
resonated with me, and I never forgot it.
Yeah, and it is that. I mean, Mariposa unto itself. I mean, I love all your restaurants. Mariposa is an experience. And you do dress up. You dress up. There are lots of servers around you, too. They take pictures of you outside when the sunset is happening. It is a full blown out experience, just like all of your restaurants. Now, we're going to have to wrap this up now, but I'm going to be having you back next month,
you.
and I'm so excited about this. So thank you for being here, Chef Lisa Dahl. Make sure that you go to all the restaurants, try them all out. We have Pizza Lisa, it's in West Sedona and also in the village of Oak Creek. We have Cucina Rustica, which is in the village. Dahl and DeLuca is here in West Sedona. And we have the Butterfly Burger, which is in the village of Oak Creek. And of course, the beautiful Mariposa in West Sedona. Thank you, Chef Lisa. I look forward to the next time. I can hardly wait.
I'm excited for more.
Thank you.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Quicker Cleaner Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in just minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day. And look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit quickercleanercarwash.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Chandra, presented by the Dahl Group.
All right, everybody, you are in for a treat. I am in for a treat because sitting with me in the house right here at Mellow Mountain Radio, 106.5 and 780 AM. Oh my gosh, is the most talented singer, songwriter, just a musician, phenomenal individual. Everybody loves you. Everyone loves you. Suzie Schomaker. Oh my gosh. Thank you for being here. I adore you. And I want you to know everybody in this community thanks you for all of your community things you do, for the music that you give us, all the times that you show up. I've got stories, everybody, but it's really not about my stories about Suzie. It's more about your stories, Suzie. So welcome. Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Miss Chandra.
Oh,
this is a treat.
You sound so light like that, but you're more like this, you're talking.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get, yeah.
No, you are. I wouldn't say I'm your New York sister, New York.
New York. She's my New York sister.
I wasn't born in New York. You were born in New York.
I was. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, lived on the streets all my life.
I love it.
Yeah.
And your story is absolutely awesome in that you wanted to do music. What actually turned you on to wanting to be a musician and singer?
Oh, my goodness. It really didn't. I was a little teeny kid, and they grabbed me out of my first grade class to sing a song. And they put me in some silly CYO contest, and I won the dang thing. And from that day forward, people would pick me up off the street and call me into the stores to sing.
I love it. How old are you
stores.
Here? How old?
6.
Love it.
And, you're on the street in New York. You're always walking around the block. You're always hanging on the street.
Yeah.
You're always doing. And so they all would pull me in their stores and have me sing for them. But then later, as we got older, of course, now high school or pre-high school, my brother's got his own little band, and he's a rocker. He plays guitar, and I was never allowed to play the guitar because he had the guitar. And so I would steal it.
That's so wrong.
Oh, it's silly. I look back and I laugh. But I would steal his guitar out of his bedroom and teach myself how to play. I'd put it back before he came home.
You devilish girl.
Oh, I was bad.
But that's as bad as it gets. That's not that bad.
No, that's kind of the deal. It was just, and then you start playing, and he didn't want me anywhere near his band. And it's like, my sister's not playing, and his buddies all wanted me to be the singer in the band. And this is 13. I'm 13. He's 14.
Okay.
And it's like, keep my sister away from me.
Were you not close to him? You weren't close.
When you have siblings and you're that close and it's a brother and a sister, you hate each other at 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
Keep my little sister out of, these are my buddies hanging out with us.
Right.
So, but then I started playing in his band, and then I got asked to be in the big guys band. The guys were like 25, 28. They were all like grown-ups, and here I am 14 now fronting their band.
Wow.
And the guitar player was my brother's guitar teacher.
Oh my gosh.
So I came home to my brother's home, and he says to me, I said to him, "Hey Rob, I'm in Larry's band." And he goes, "You are not." I said, "Yes, I am. I'm the chick singer."
This is when, okay, you have to understand that this is not something that we go around going, you know what? I'm so happy and proud that I'm being called the chick singer.
Yes.
But in this case, you were. At 14?
I was 14 years old, fronting a band with 20-year-olds.
I love it.
Oh, it was hysterical.
So now you're completely smitten. Well, you were. You got the bug when you were 6.
Oh, yeah. It's just what you did, and it's like, oh, yeah, this feels good.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you're singing rock and roll at 14.
Yeah.
And what are the songs?
Oh, God, all the Foghat stuff, The Who, Jefferson Starship, Joplin, of course.
Of course. Oh, which reminds me.
Right, of course.
Does anybody really know the story of how you started doing the Janis Joplin whole tribute thing you were doing in New York? And now there's a lot to tell here because you've got to just kind of, it's like a chronology, you know? So here you are, you're 14, then what happens? And we're going to talk about the Janis Joplin thing in a minute.
Well, you just play. You just play, and you're just attracted to this stuff, and you play in bands, and you weren't supposed to. So here I am playing out at night.
And you had to leave the room during the breaks, or did anybody know?
Oh,
did you
it
look
didn't
older?
matter.
Did you look older?
Oh, hell no.
And they didn't care?
It didn't matter. You're just in a corner bar in Queens.
Okay, so
They
that's the
didn't care.
difference between San Diego, California,
Well,
and New York, right?
Yeah.
Because I started playing in the clubs when I was, 19.
No,
I had to leave.
that.
I had to leave during the breaks.
No,
take my
we
breaks
did.
out.
We did. The people didn't even ask.
They loved you so much.
It didn't matter. It was just a crowded bar.
Were they eating in there?
No, it was a corner bar.
Okay, you guys are awesome. That's
It
why
was
I
just a
love New
cool
York.
bar.
You're so laid back about it. People think New York people are uptight. They're not. They are phenomenal people. Okay.
No, you pull your guitar out at Grand Central and you open a case up and you play some songs and you make some bucks and makes enough money to get you a soda or a hot dog or dirty water hot dog. Oh, yeah. That was it.
Where were you when I was in New York? Because I would have loved to have hung out with you.
Yeah,
All
I was
right,
on some corner somewhere, playing somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
We probably were walking right past each other. Okay, so now tell me how that goes from working in clubs, you're 14. Now what happens? Where's the next step for you?
Well, get to be 18, 19, or 17, and my parents say, okay, my mother didn't want me to be a singer, so she wasn't really happy with what I was doing. And so I just went out and I got my own car and ended up playing and sleeping in my car when I had to and playing music. It's like, well, I can make a living doing this. I'm going to do this. And
Amazing.
I was fine.
What did she want you to do?
She wanted me to be a teacher.
What kind of a teacher?
She didn't care.
So you could have taught music, but you weren't going to.
She wasn't interested in that. To her, music was not the way to go.
Okay.
And, on some levels, Mom was right, because it's a difficult life.
It is. No,
It's not easy.
No, it isn't by any means. People don't realize that it is really hand to mouth. I mean, you have to constantly be selling or showing up.
Yep.
And it's just, it is a very intense lifestyle, I have to say. And those of us who've made a living at it for years, we all know that. That's
and you
got
to love it.
And you have to love it. Yes.
It's all about loving it. If you don't love it, don't do it.
You shouldn't be doing it. Yeah.
No.
So now you're living in your car, and what kind of bands are you working with?
every kind of band. And back then there were no computers, no cell phones, no none of that. Right. So it was people would see you or hear you and give you a phone number, and you'd go to your home, and I would hide. I'd take the phone and I'd hide behind the wall so my mother wouldn't see that I'm talking to somebody on the phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because of course the phone's hanging on the kitchen wall.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Every kitchen had the telephone.
Oh my God, I know that, with a really long, stretchy cable.
Yes, all curled up. Yes, yeah, in knots. Yes. And so, if mom's not home, quick, make a phone call.
Oh my gosh. And how old are you now?
Well, I was out of the house at 17, 18, so that was... I was done and I was on my own. But it was then friends would give me, I'd go to their house.
Okay. So
or
now,
other musicians.
I know that you've worked with all different kinds of bands. You've sung every genre.
Yeah.
Known to woman and man. And we atone to that. We both have done that. You did this, though, with big bands in New York and with no rehearsals.
No.
And once they got wind of you, tell that great story. I love this story. This is such a great story. The one where you sang and then you didn't realize and someone was asking you about another band. Remember that?
Well, there's a couple of them that go that way, but the one was really cool. I was playing with an orchestra company, and I was 19. I didn't know what I was doing. And when you first join, which I didn't know, I was called a screamer. A screamer.
Okay.
And what a screamer was you filling in for somebody that couldn't make the gig.
Okay.
So now I'm fronting a band that's expecting somebody else to be the front person of the band.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. And that happened to be a man.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, not good. Not good. And it was the son of the guy who owned the orchestra company. So they would book his son on like 15 gigs for the weekend. And, of course, he couldn't do all the shows. So he'd pick people to fill in for all the shows he couldn't do.
And the client was okay with this?
Oh, it always ended up okay. But boy, in the beginning, there was a...
They're expecting a young man, and then there's a young woman that walks in.
And they spend a lot of money for these bands.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know about those big bands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so we're at one, it was in Jersey, in Paramus, New Jersey. I don't know where the heck it was, but a guy came in and came up to the stage. I had just gotten there. I'm setting up my microphone. I got my little tuxedo on, all ready to go.
You're wearing a tuxedo.
Oh, yeah. You got to wear your black and whites. Oh, yeah.
But it's like a tuxedo, not like
with little heels.
Not a gown.
Oh, no. Okay. Suzie doesn't do gowns.
Okay. All right.
No, and I told the guys, I'll be happy to sing, but don't tell me I got to do that.
Good for you.
No, you're okay. Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I show up at the gig, and I don't even know what's going on. Next thing I know, this guy walks up to the piano player, who's the leader of the band, and he's got his teeth all wired shut. And he walks up and he goes, "That is not how Prince is sung." I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I look at Dan, and I go, "What's that?" It's hysterical. And he was expecting somebody else.
So did
he
you
was
know
not
that?
happy.
Did you know that on the gig? Were you
I had no idea
anything?
until that moment.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I asked the piano player, it's like, "Hey, Dan, what is that?" He goes, "Don't worry about it. You're screaming for him." I said, "Oh, no."
And you already knew the term.
Well, they had told me a couple of weeks ago about the term that you'll be filling in. So you'll be a screamer. It's like, okay. Well, I didn't realize that's what it meant.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it was hysterical. At the end of it, they loved it. And they had a blast, and they thanked me, and it was a wonderful wedding. They loved every second of it.
Yeah,
but it was funny. They had a fight at the and he had his teeth wired shut because they broke his jaw.
Oh my God, that is hysterical.
Welcome to New York.
Only in New York, right? I know, seriously. Okay, so you're working with these bands, and did you just say who?
It was Hal Prince Orchestras. I didn't need to say that, but yeah, that's what it was.
All right,
that's what it was.
A minute there, I was thinking Hal David.
Many moons ago.
I was like, okay, yes,
many moons ago.
Many moons ago.
Yeah.
So now what happens?
Well, I did all kinds. I had me solo and a guitar. You'd sing all of it. Mm-hmm. I did jingles. I did 3-piece bands, blues bands, rock bands. I did cabaret. I did me and a piano player. You name it. It was like just hand over the music. Then when you start doing jingles, that's really fun.
Oh, well, yes. Do you read music?
No.
Okay, so jingles are tough because they really kind of expect you to read.
Well, yeah. So they give you a sheet of music and you go, "Oh, I love this part. How do you want that to sound?"
Yes, of course. That's called faking it, everybody. I've done it. I've done that in studios because I read, but I don't read like that.
And I'm like, oh, yes, no problem. Could you just make sure that I've got it right?
You sure?
And they
You
play
sure
it, and
that's
you've
what
got
you
a
want?
good ear, and you can learn fast.
That's
Boom.
it. That's it. And it jingles just it's a couple of lines.
It is.
So you get the musical line that they want and the timing
it.
of the words, and that's fine.
It's so good. It's
You
so good.
If you can do it in 20 minutes, they love it. It's like,
Of course.
we're all done. Awesome.
I know, right? It's like, she's quick. Let's have her back.
Let's do it.
You know,
And
not
that's how
waste
you
of
get
money.
those gigs.
Yeah.
That's how you get them.
So everybody got your card pretty much, right? The
Yeah.
big band people really got wind of you. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is a story about somebody taking you away. You gave a card out or something?
Oh, yeah. That was another green Susie. She had no idea. Because you'd go and you'd do these auditions for weddings.
Right.
And all the brides and grooms are coming to pick the band out for their wedding.
Right.
And you're you're just leaning, you're just one of the chick singers that are in all these zillions of bands that are just playing. And we did our little thing on the stage, and somebody come up to me and asked me for a card. And I just took a card out and gave it to him. I never even thought 2 seconds about it. With that, 3 guys come running to me. What card do you hand out? I said, oh, what, mine? No, you hand out these cards.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
It's like, I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
they were not happy with me.
That's hysterical.
But
But you
I
worked.
apologize.
Boy, did you work. You worked a lot.
Oh, I was always working. 6 days a week I worked. It wasn't like, the lazy musician you're hanging out. Heck no. I was having fun playing. I loved every second of it. I couldn't wait to go to work every day.
So now, when did the Janis Joplin tribute show come in? Because you were doing that in New York.
Yeah.
And
It was before the Janis, it was the Janis book came out, right? The sister wrote the book.
Yeah.
And
when was that? The 70s or the
no.
later?
The book came out much later.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The book was what, late 80s?
Okay.
Had to be late 80s. Somewhere in the late 80s, I want to say.
Because I was thinking late 70s, but if you're saying late 80s.
It's got to be late 80s.
Okay.
Late 80s, even early 90s. I think late 80s.
Well, it had to have been because, yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
And we just figured we could take some of this and let's do a Joplin show. Because I love doing Joplin.
You do. I'm going to tell you something. When you actually become Janis Joplin, you do. When I first saw you do this, I was just floored. I went, my Lord. And then to find out that you actually did that in New York, full time, you were doing those shows.
Yeah.
Where were you doing the shows?
It was down in the Village.
Oh,
and then they had to stop. We
Why?
actually got a cease and desist because they were doing the Janis show.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So we weren't allowed to do what we were doing.
Uh-huh.
And I always referred back to the book. It's like when Janis was, 18 or 19 and she left Texas, the story of her traveling across the country, writing letters to her mom. It's just amazing stuff.
It's wonderful.
That some little girl plopped from Texas into California into the middle of a happening, and here she is just rocking the world.
I know. And I really don't think, she didn't think much of it. She didn't think a whole lot of that whole situation. She just, like you said, she fell into it, and she just kind of was on the ride.
She followed her heart and her gut. That's the only thing that got her out there. That's what I felt when I read the book. It's just
amazing.
It was where she was supposed to be. She was at the right place at the right time.
Most definitely.
It was when girls weren't supposed to do anything. The girls were not. This was a men's world.
Right.
And then you've got Janis Joplin coming out there to really shake that whole thing.
Right.
That's
a real pioneer
story.
and really the first to ever do what she did.
Oh, totally.
She was just raw. People loved her because what you saw is what you got.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't anything pretty about it. About what she did. And
no, and she wasn't apologetic about it. This is what it is.
I know. I have a dear friend, still good friend, who was in my bands, who was a bass player. And at that time, I think it was somewhere, it was before she passed, and he was on tour, and he looked a lot like Jackson Browne, and he opened for her.
Oh, wow.
And he just said it was unreal. Oh,
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen her.
Oh,
that's the one thing I would I just missed that I wasn't able to be there.
So was that the last kind of thing that you were doing in New York before you came to Sedona?
I just continued the whole thing. I continued the whole thing until about 1997, 98.
Wow.
Somewhere in there, maybe 1999. And then in the 2000s, we started coming out here.
Okay, good. I think I met you after Studio Live. For those of you who don't know, there was a wonderful, wonderful place called Studio Live. And it was very high tech. It was a small little place with a really nice foyer, but very high tech for people who weren't necessarily working at some of the clubs in town, which I loved. You gave opportunities for artists who just would never be at I don't even want to name names, but at places that other people were doing, things that I was doing, Tom and I were doing, the Dynamite Divas. We were working those places, but there were so many musicians not working those places. You gave them a place.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted. I had asked a couple of musicians, one of them Eddie Berrettini.
Yes.
Shout out to Eddie. And I asked them, were any of those guys interested in talking about doing something in the community? We got to do something here. And invited them all over to the house, and we all hung out, asked questions. And what do you want to do? What do you think would work? What do you need? How do we make this happen? Because there's too much talent. This area is so talented. It blows my mind.
I know. It's incredible how many musicians and singers are here, and you don't hear about them.
And not just musicians, singers. They are talented people. Yes. And when they play, they really play.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you know when I learned that is when I was in the Bob Dylan concerts a few times. I was like, who are these people?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So many of them.
Let's fast forward now. Now, what are you doing? Right this moment, I mean, might I just say, I do know what you're doing. I'm just going to tell everybody. You've got this great gig, and it's called Church of Blues, and it's every Sunday at the Old Town Center for the Arts in their Studio B venue. That's right there. And from 10:30 to 12 on Sundays. Tell us about this. Incredible.
Yeah, and I had been told about this countless times by several people. And somebody tells me you got to go to church on Sunday morning. Suzie says, no, thank you.
Right.
And not for no other reason, but I grew up doing that when I was a little kid, and I don't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. I go to church every day. Yes. I love Sedona is my church.
Yes.
But my friend Kathy came up to me and she goes, Suzie, you have to go to this thing on Sunday morning. You're going to love it. I said, Kathy, I'm not into church. You're not. Suzie, I'm going to pick you up Sunday. So I went. It is so much fun. I was like, this is a brilliant idea.
It really isn't a church so much.
No.
I think it's the religion of music.
It's
and
a
what
gathering
music
of
does,
music.
right?
Yep.
Music to uplift you.
Yep.
And every Sunday from 10:30 to 12,
Yep.
you got people coming up and singing.
Yep.
It doesn't cost anything, you
Nope.
guys. You just show up.
Yep.
You can make a donation if you want. You know, William Eaton is the owner of the Old Town Center for the Arts, and Studio B is part of that. And I just think it's great that he's doing it. And you're performing there every Sunday, is that correct?
Yeah, we all perform. And it's all about the blues because the blues is easy 3-chord progressions.
Right.
And we can teach everybody little licks, and you can play it on your ukulele. You can play it on your guitar. You can play it on your little ukulele bass.
And a matter of fact, you're gonna sing for us right now a song, perform right here in the studio. You're going to do it right now, aren't you? Going to do it right now?
I am. I'm going to give you a little bit of Keb Mo because this is just one of the simplest, most uplifting songs I know.
This is something that we would hear going to the Church of Blues on Sundays at the Old Town Center for the Arts at Studio B, 10:30 to 12:30. Excuse me, 10:30 to 12 p.m. every Sunday. All right, you know what? I'm tired of talking. Let's hear you sing something. Come on.
If your problems don't go away, if you're worried night and day, hand it over. Get on your knees and pray. If you're sick, Lord, feeling low, got no money, got nowhere to go, Lord, hand it over. Get on your knees and pray. Get on your knees and pray. Hand it over, hand it over, hand it over, hand it over. There you go. Give it up, give it over. Lord, hand it over, yeah. Get on your knees and pray. Get on your knees and pray. Ain't no mountain you can't climb. Lord, ain't no is a hand to hold. It'll heal your body, heal your soul. The road is dark, you can't find your way. Let the music light the day. Come on, hand it over, yeah. Get on your knees and pray. Get on your knees and pray. Ready, Sean? Yeah. Hand it over, hand it over, hand it over, hand it over. Give it up, give it over, Lord, hand it over. Get on your knees and pray.
Suzie Schomaker, I just love you, baby. I love you. Church of Blues,
What a hoot.
10:30 to 12 p.m. on Sundays at O-Town Center for the Arts in Studio B. And we'll be right back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com.
Take a deep breath and let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments, all nestled in a peaceful creekside setting beneath Sedona's Red Rock beauty. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Chandra, presented by the Dahl Group.
Well, thank you for staying tuned in. Really appreciate that. Did you hear that? You know what this means. I know what it means. It means it's time for my shameless Chandra spot. I'm thrilled to announce, so excited to announce that one of my private voice and acting students, Mackenzie Combs, who just graduated from Mingus Union High School in Cottonwood, won Best Female Lead in a Musical at the ASU Gamage High School Musical Awards. And it happened on Saturday, this past Saturday. And I got to tell you, I have to say, I was screaming. I was watching it live as it streamed across our very large television. Now, she's representing Arizona. Because why? She is attending the Jimmy Awards in New York City, where she will be trained by Broadway directors and choreographers. And by the way, she also won $1,000. I'm sure that's going to help her with her books, going to college. And you might be wondering what the Jimmy Awards are. They're the National High School Musical Theater Awards, and the ceremony highlights the best of high school musical theater talent and features nominees, now get this, from over 50 regions across the United States. And this year, it's going to be held on Monday, June 23rd. At 7:30 p.m. Of course, that is New York time. Keep that in mind because I'm sure they're going to be streaming it. So they are, I believe, 3 hours ahead of us. Just check your time there. And it will be happening at Broadway's Minskoff Theater. So exciting. And the ceremony is going to highlight all of this talent. Now, not all of them are going to be able to perform up there. So we're going to watch live to see if Mackenzie is chosen and has that opportunity to debut her talent on the Broadway stage. So congratulations to James Ball, the music and theater director at Mingus Union High, for all that he did, and being Mackenzie's private voice and acting coach. I know personally how hard she worked on this song, how incredible the work was that we both did together for her to get those long notes, especially the one at the end that won her this award. So I'm so proud of you, Mackenzie, if you're listening. And we in Sedona and the Verde Valley and all of Arizona are proud of you. Mackenzie Combs. Thank you, everyone, again for tuning in. I so appreciate it. And remember, if you want to share the show, which I would really appreciate it, make sure that you go to mellowmountainradio.com where you'll find this episode and the other 4 episodes from May. It's so exciting to have my own podcast. I want to thank my engineer, Ryan Thompson. You rock, man. You rock. And also Chuck Helstein, who is the owner of the station, because we are here at KAZM and Mellow Mountain Radio, of course. Remember, Mellow Mountain Radio 106.5 FM and 780 AM. And you can also catch all of my podcasts on Apple Podcasts. So share and share and share. I appreciate it. And if you like the show, leave a review and a rating. If you didn't, you never heard of the show. All right. I want to thank my guest today, Lisa Dahl, Chef Lisa Dahl. She's fantastic, of the Dahl Group, who is my presenting sponsor. Remember to always look for those times when you want to go out to dinner. And when you do look for those times, try out Mariposa, Cucina Rustica, Pizza Lisa in both West Sedona and the Village of Oak Creek, the Butterfly Burger in the Village of Oak Creek, and Dahl and DeLuca. Fantastic restaurants. You will have an experience, a culinary experience. Also want to thank my other guest, Suzie Schomaker. She's an incredible artist, a wonderful singer. I want to thank you for letting me get in there a little harmony. At least I got to tell you, Suzie was like pointing at me and going, come on, jump in. I want you to know that at the Old Town Center for the Arts in Studio B, you will find the Church of Blues. And by the way, just want to mention this. There is a program called Yes, You Can, Composing the Blues, Writing and Playing from the Heart and Soul. This whole June coming up, you can go from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Everybody is welcome, but you want to make a reservation at churchofblues.org. All right, well, I'm going to be back next Saturday at 10 a.m., and I hope you'll tune in with me to get the inside scoop of what's going on behind the scenes here at Sedona's Backstage Pass.